Is this the most versatile mountain shoe for your kid? Today we are reviewing the La Sportiva Ultra Raptor 2 Junior. Hi again everyone, I'm Jason. Trail running, hiking, scrambling. 3 very related activities but with different demands placed on our shoes. We found the La Sportiva Ultra Raptor 2 Junior to be a good all-rounder, which means that it's not the best at any one of these disciplines, but it saves us money by not having to get a series of specialized shoes. Let's look at the pros and cons on an activity-by-activity basis. The less rocky and more runnable the trail, the more low weight and shoe flexibility become a plus. You may have heard the adage that a fast shoe is a flexible shoe. This is, of course, assuming that you have the foot endurance for that, but you will reduce ground contact time in a flexible shoe. Light, of course, speaks for itself. Well, the Ultra Raptor 2 Junior is on the stiffer side, and it is also on the heavier side for a runner. Our kids' EU 33 sizes weigh 205 grams, or just over 7 ounces each. For example, each shoe is more than 40 grams heavier than La Sportiva's Bushido 2 Junior option. A lot of that weight comes from more cushion, bigger, more aggressive lugs, and rock protection at the toe and heel. The Ultra Raptor 2 Junior does have a mesh upper, which is breathable to keep fast-moving feet cool and to reduce toe top friction and blisters. That same mesh upper is also a hiking feature. The shoes dry fast, so those accidental slips on stream crossings don't have to ruin the rest of the day. But, speaking of hiking, in the kids' version, La Sportiva calls the Ultra Raptor 2 a hiker, while the adult version fits into their mountain running class of shoes. Basically, it sits right on the cusp of those two activities. That means a few design decisions that, of course, have trade-offs. First, you can get the Ultra Raptor 2 Junior in a mid with Gore-Tex, a shoe with Gore-Tex, and as a shoe that is not waterproof like we have here. Of course, Gore-Tex will dramatically reduce breathability, but it may make sense based on your location or the seasons in which you hike. And those burlier rock guards make more sense on trails that are too broken with rocks and roots for true running. In addition, having a more pronounced heel means that those first lugs on the heel can be much more effective at braking when heading downhill on steeper trails or in no-trail environments. Of course, that's not the ideal design for running when you want to roll from heel to toe as fast as possible. And back to the stiffer shoe and extra cushioning that we already mentioned, these features will provide more support, which will help with carrying pack weight. The boys have done in one go as much as 40 miles over 4 days on some segments of the Colorado Trail carrying all the requisite gear, and they didn't get sore feet. You can watch a short film about that trip too. Which leaves the last discipline, scrambling. If you've seen videos like my introduction to Class 3 and Class 4 climbing, and the whole series we did on techniques to add security to scrambling with a rope, there are links in the description, you know I am a fan of approach shoes. To simplify, approach shoes are mostly a hiking shoe, but with a few important elements to help on moderate rock climbing terrain. Some important climb-enabling additions are, not surprisingly, a fairly stiff flex so that you can have some support when pushing off just the toe, the inclusion of climbing-specific rubber to dramatically improve traction, at the cost of durability though, and usually an area below the big toe that is completely smooth to maximize rubber-on-rock friction at that area of the shoe. But for our kids who love both technical climbing and 3rd, 4th, and low 5th class scrambles, we found a pretty good solution in the La Sportiva Ultra Raptor 2 Junior. I don't mean pretty good in a negative way, just that there are limitations. The stiffer flex helps, although it isn't as stiff as a true approach shoe and will therefore demand more calf and foot strength when climbing in them. The biggest reason the shoe scrambles well, though, is the rubber. La Sportiva is an expert in climbing shoes and climbing rubber, and the friction blue compound on the Ultra Raptor 2 Junior's sole comes out of that tradition. Of course, the rubber is harder and more durable than soft climbing rubber, but it is far softer and more grippy than hiking rubber. Outside of their climbing shoes, these are the stickiest shoes my kids have ever put on. The downside is durability on the sole. The rest of the shoe has held up very well, with no real visible damage, despite this being our kids' outdoor shoe that they wear for everything except technical climbing. The sole's softer rubber, though, is just starting to wear out on those aggressive lugs. That being said, the boys are now sizing up, so the shoes lasted as long as they fit. The shoe has served the kids very well on terrain up to low 5th class, doing best on textured slab and being slightly less performant on edges where a stiffer shoe would be more beneficial. With only mesh on the upper, it really can't take any sustained crack climbing though. So yes, pretty good for scrambles, but only because I do think that it would not be as effective as a true approach design, even if keeping the same rubber on the sole. That being said, I have found one kid's shoe that is specifically marketed as an approach shoe, the Sportiva Wildfire 2, but I've also found some reviews that have been less than impressed with the proprietary rubber on those. I'll put a review link in the description. Pointing to a final design feature, I want to mention the smartly designed cord lacing system. It's not a flexible cord, so it won't gradually lose elasticity. And the use of the 1G hook allows the kids to easily widen the top and then lock down on the foot. After pulling tight the cord lock, the elastic loop then keeps the front of the lacing system's cord tail in place. Now for one final downside. This shoe isn't available in North America. It is, however, available in Europe, so a couple of things. If you live in North America, you can try on the La Sportiva Bushido 2 Junior for a size comparison. That is sold on this continent. And then, if you were interested in ordering, I have had really positive experiences with Depor Village. They are located in Spain. I have no connection with them, and I have constantly had good experiences. I've always gotten my order shipped via DHL in less than 2 weeks, usually with them beating their estimated delivery date. The La Sportiva Ultra Raptor 2 will likely be our quiver of one solution until the kids break into the smaller adult sizes like EU 37s and 38s, and the full benefits of specialized shoes start to become available. What other kids' equipment have you found that covers many needs? Tell us what it is and what you do with it in the comments. Thanks for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, and share if you want to support us. For more information, you can go to our website at www.shortguysbetaworks.com. To see another kid-specific solution, maybe check out our video on getting them set up with real crampons for the winter, or you might also be interested in that scrambling with a rope series. We'll see you next week and keep on getting more out of that big outside.